Hey there, and welcome. My name is Rodrigo, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this video course on building type-safe LLM agents with Pydantic AI. Now, the whole course is going to hinge on a very simple idea. When you interact with an LLM, you send text, sometimes other media as well, but you send it text and then the LLM replies with text. And this is the typical loop of interaction. If you open ChatGPT or Gemini or any other interface, this is how it works. But if you put Pydantic AI in the middle, which is the tool you'll learn about, then you can leverage Pydantic AI to get structured output out of LLMs. So that's exactly what you're going to learn how to do. You're going to use Pydantic AI to interact with an LLM, and by doing that, you'll get models as responses, which essentially just means you'll be getting structured outputs. So overall, what you're going to do in this course is set up Pydantic AI. It's a regular Python package that you can just pip install. You're going to define models for structured outputs. So you're going to define the structure you want for your outputs, and you're going to see how to do that in code. You're going to augment Pydantic AI with tools, and you're going to decouple dependencies in your code for easier testing. So these are the four main things you're going to learn throughout this video course. And once you're ready to get everything set up, you can move on to the next lesson. Before you start, there are a couple of prerequisites you'll want to make sure you meet. First off, you need some Python knowledge to be able to follow along this course or to make the most out of this course. You don't need to be an expert, but if you're at the very early beginner stage, that's going to make it harder for you to follow along because you will be writing a couple of classes and you will write a couple of Python functions and you'll use a decorator or two. So if these things sound familiar, then that should be enough. Otherwise, you'll want to make sure you at least read up on them a little bit so that you can write the code for the course. The second thing you're going to need is an API key from a major LLM provider. Now, what constitutes a major LLM provider is a bit ambiguous, so go ahead and check the Pydantic documentation on what LLM providers they support. Obviously, if you have an API key from Google or OpenAI or Anthropic, that's going to work. But if you're not sure, go to pydantic.dev/docs/ai/models/overview, and there you will find an exhaustive list of all of the providers that Pydantic AI can be used with. If you don't have an API key from any provider, and if you have a Google account or are willing to get one, you can get a free Gemini API key from aistudio.google.com/API-keys. The API key for Gemini has a free tier that is enough for the demonstrations and for the examples from this course. Once you have the API key at hand, you can move on to the next lesson where we're going to set up Pydantic AI. In order to be able to set up Pydantic AI, you'll want to do four things. You'll want to create a virtual environment, the environment in which you install Pydantic AI. You'll want to install Pydantic AI in that environment, and then you'll want to make sure that everything is working just fine. So you're going to set the API key you got from the prerequisites lesson, past lesson. You'll set it as an environment variable, and then you'll try to run a basic prompt from the REPL just to double check that everything is working smoothly. So first you're going to create your virtual environment and install Pydantic AI. To create a virtual environment, feel free to use whatever tool you prefer. If you have no preference, usually you'll just want to do something like python-m venv and then .venv. That's the typical way if you have no preference for any tool whatsoever. After creating the virtual environment, you'll want to activate it with source.venv/bin/activate, and you'll want to run the command python-m pip install pydantic-ai all together, but with an hyphen separating Pydantic and AI, and then this command will install Pydantic AI and all of its dependencies so that you can use this package. You're going to give it a couple of seconds, and once you're done, you're going to set up the API key. All right, so after Pydantic AI is installed, if you run Python, you could already import Pydantic AI, but you still have to set up your API key in order to be able to actually run something. So you want to make sure you're at the root of your directory, and if you look at the contents of this folder, you'll see a file called .env. Now, this is a text file that contains the definition of one environment variable. In this particular case, if you cut the file, you'll see that it contains a single line, Google API key equals, and then inside quotes, the API key that's being used for this course. If you're using Gemini, you'll want your .env file to have this structure as well. Google API key equals and then the key. If you're using an API provider that's not Google, you'll need to check the Pydantic AI documentation to see what's the correct name for the environment variable. If you open the documentation page from the previous lesson that shows all of the providers that Pydantic AI supports, you can click on your provider. For example, let's say it's Anthropic, and very close to the top, you will see under configuration, environment variable, it's going to tell you the name, the correct name you should use for your environment variable. Now, feel free to manage the environment variable in your preferred way. If you don't have any preference, our recommendation is that you save it in a .env file. Make sure it's added to your gitignore. If you're doing this inside the GitHub repo, make sure you add it to a gitignore. And then in order to assign the environment variable in your terminal, you'll want to run the commands set-a, source.env, and then set+a. And the reason you put the API key inside a file is so that it's easier to retrieve. You can just run these three commands whenever you need to activate the API key. Once you go through these steps, you can run Python. You can, from Pydantic AI, you'll want to import the class agent with capital A, and now you're going to instantiate an agent. You want to pass in the name of the provider and the model to the agent. If you're using Gemini, feel free to copy what's on the screen. If you're using a different provider, the same page that tells you the name of the environment variable, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the correct way of identifying the provider, and then you need to check the provider's documentation for the models that are available. For Gemini, that's going to be Gemini 2.5 Flash, a reasonable model that's going to be fairly fast for our examples, and then you're going to set some basic instructions. You're going to say you're a Python expert, reply to all questions with a single sentence. You instantiate the agent, and now to get a single interaction with the agent, you're going to run the method runSync. So you say that the result is going to be whatever you get from the agent if you pass in the question, what is Pydantic AI? And you give it a second. Pydantic AI is connecting to the Gemini LLM. And once you have the result, you can print its output to read the one-sentence reply from the LLM. If this ran smoothly, it means that you're good to go for the next lesson, where you're going to learn how to get structured output out of an LLM. If you had any issues, make sure that you correctly define the API key, double-check the name of the environment variable, double-check the value, and double-check the commands. The order of the commands is important. You start with set-a, then you source the file, and then you set +a again to counteract the -a you started with. All right, once everything is good to go, I'll see you in the next lesson. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to use Pydantic AI to get structured output out of an LLM. And for that, it's important to take a step back and realize that Pydantic, without the AI, was a package that was originally developed to allow you to do runtime type validation using type hints. In Pydantic, you define a class, you specify the attributes for that class and their types, and at runtime, Pydantic will make sure that you only get values of the appropriate types. So Pydantic validates your class. Pydantic took this functionality and brought it to the world of LLMs. So you're going to define a class that's going to inherit from Pydantic's base model. And in your class, you define all of the attributes that you want. So those will be the informations you want from the LLM, and you specify the types. When you make a request to the LLM through Pydantic AI, you just say, hey, I want the response to have this particular type, and you point it to your own model. And so Pydantic AI will reach out to the LLM, it will make a request, and when it gets the answer from the LLM, it will try to parse the appropriate values with the appropriate types to build the model you specified. So let's see this in action. Go ahead and create a file called structuredoutputs.py. Now, the first thing you need is to go to Pydantic, the base package, not Pydantic AI, but just Pydantic, and from Pydantic you'll want to import the base model. So all of your models, when you need structured output, should inherit from base model. And from Pydantic AI, you're going to need your agent. Suppose you want to ask your LLM about different countries and you want to get information from those countries. Well, you could say, let's define a model called country info that inherits from base model. And the information you care about, well, that's going to be the name of the country. Obviously, you want the capital. Both the name of the country and the capital are strings. And then you could say you also want the population. And then you define that as an integer. Or you say it's going to be an integer with a type hint. And then you just instantiate your agent by passing in the identification of the provider and the name of the model you want to use. And now, when you interact with the agent through the method runSync, you can ask your question, or you can say something like, tell me about Japan, which is a country. And then, as a second argument, you want to say that the output type should be country info. And when you're done, you just want to print the output of the results. Now, if you run your script and include the -i flag there to be dropped in an interactive prompt after the code runs, so you can see that the structured information was printed on the screen. Name equals Japan, capital equals Tokyo, population equals 125 million people. And if you inspect the output of the result, you can see that it is an instance of the model you specified. So you could do something like result.output.population if you wanted to access the population directly. So this is the core benefit of using Pydantic AI to interact with LLMs, is this ability to get structured output that comes neatly packaged in the models that you define. Now, this interaction with the LLM and specifying the output type, this is not deterministic and it's not guaranteed that it will work. So in the next lesson, you're going to understand how to control the reliability of this technique using Pydantic AI.